Hey, it is 12 noon on Wednesday, which means it's time for this week's episode of Ask the Instructor. I'm looking extra short today. We've got a great show for you today. We're talking about something essential if you're thinking about starting a career in real estate, and that's how you make money. You know, real estate is fun, but it's only fun for so long if you don't make any money. It'll be fun forever if you can make money doing this. So that's what we're talking about today, how it is that you make money. We're going to briefly cover the licensing process and tell you where to go to find all the links and everything it is that you need to get your real estate license in Florida, and then we're going to break down how it is that you get paid, what it is that you're actually getting paid for. So I'm excited to talk about that today. We're talking about money. Stick with us. I'm John Chrismo. You're watching Ask the Instructor.
You are watching
Ask the Instructor. Absorb the knowledge. Become the expert.
Hey, welcome to this week's episode of Ask the Instructor. I'm John Chrismo. The show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate, and what we're talking about today is how to make money in real estate. And first, let's start off how you stay legal doing this, practicing real estate. Pretty much any state, most countries, there's a few countries out there that don't require any sort of real estate licensing, but what we're talking about today is Florida. So if you're in Florida, you're thinking about moving to Florida, Florida's a happening place right now. I mean, we've constantly have had a positive influx of people moving to Florida. Just last night I was talking with somebody who was saying it's over, I think, the next year, there's going to be 260,000 people moving to Florida, just actually the Tampa Bay area that statistic was for. So 250,000 people just moving in the Tampa Bay area. There's already 3 million people here. It's going to continue to grow. There's lots of development going on. There's a lot of opportunities to be had. If you want to cash in on this action, you need a real estate license. So let's talk about the process of what it takes to get a real estate license. So a few simple steps, and this whole process you're going to find out, because we're going to cover this briefly, but for all the links to all of this, you're going to want to go to licencefl.com. So licencefl.com. That's going to have your full step-by-step guide, everything it is you need to know to get your real estate license in Florida. That's available, licencefl.com. So check that out after the show. Write that link down. But briefly, these steps it is that are required. Number one, a pre-licensing course. So this pre-licensing course, this will teach you everything that's required by the Florida Real Estate Commission to pass your real estate license exams, because you'll need to pass an exam to get your Florida Real Estate license. This course is going to teach you all that information. It's required by the Florida Real Estate Commission. Second thing, and this course can be done online or the classroom. We have classroom options throughout the Tampa Bay area and online courses that can be taken throughout anywhere in the world. We've had people from China, people from Europe, people from all over the United States taking our online course because they're coming to Florida and they want to be ready to hit the ground running. So we have that both online and classroom. Check that out. Again, the link to that's on licencefl.com. Second step you'll need to do is your application. So the application is done with the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation. Currently, I think it's about $83 for this application, and this is your actual application to get your real estate license. Now, what we recommend is doing this application while you're enrolled in the course, because you're usually looking about a 1 to 2 week time to get your application approved. And you don't want to have finished the course and be waiting to take your state exam. You want to be able to finish your course and go right into taking the state exam, because you don't want to put time between learning this information and being tested on it. So get that application in. The link to that is at licencefl.com. What they're checking for in this application, you don't have to be a U.S. citizen. You don't have to be a Florida resident. You have to be at least 18 years old. You have to have a high school diploma or its equivalent. They don't ask you for a diploma. They will ask if you have a diploma, a checkbox on there. They run a background check on you, and they find out through that whether or not you have a high school diploma or its equivalent. So you don't have to worry about providing a diploma. I have no idea where my diploma is. I'm sure most of you are in that same boat. So don't worry about that for the application. It's just a checkbox you'll have to fill out on the application. Now, like I said, they will do a background check on you, and our third step is fingerprinting. So you'll have to be electronically fingerprinted in order to get a Florida real estate license. And the reason why they're doing this is they want to pull your entire background, and they don't want to see, okay, just as whether your name matches anything, but in case you've changed your name and you're on the run from the law somewhere, that they're finding that out with the fingerprinting as well. And they run an FBI as well, an FDLE background check on you. Now that might freak you out and be scared. Even if you have some sort of criminal background, we've got some information on this site, licensefl.com, a whole article if you have any sort of criminal background, how you can obtain a real estate license. I mean, basically what it seems like, because there's no official rule on whether or not you will get a real estate license if you have any sort of criminal background. It's up to the Florida Real Estate Commission, but what it seems is if you're just not freshly sprung out of jail, or you're not supposed to be in jail right now and you're on the run, you're probably going to be able to get a real estate license if you can compose yourself professionally. If you have questions about that, we've helped a lot of people that have had criminal backgrounds get a real estate license. We can answer any questions you have. Give us a call. I'm sure you'd want to talk to us directly about that. Our phone number is going to be flashing at the bottom of the screen. It's 813-928-0106. Now, number 4 is your state exam. So your state exam, there's really 2 exams. There's going to be an exam you have in your end of course exam with your pre-licensing course, one in the course that you'll take. If you're doing the online course, it's done online. If you're doing it in class, it's done in the classroom on the last day of class. So that's 100 questions. The state exam is also 100 questions. The class exam, you need to get a 70% on to pass, and the state exam, you have to get a 75% on to pass. And these are multiple choice exams, A, B, C, D, multiple choice. If you know this information, if you've got this information down that's taught to you in the pre-licensing course, then you'll be good for the exam. And we've got a lot of great study tools as well. Under the state exam part of licensefl.com, it's got a link to our recommended strategy to pass your class and state exams on the first try. We've got a lot of exam prep tools. We've helped thousands of people get their real estate license. So don't let that exam stress you out or scare you. Don't let learning this information scare you as well. I mean, we've had a lot of people that have been 40, 50, 60 years removed from high school and college and learning environments. This is not an exam of how smart it is that you are. It's an exam of whether or not it is that you've learned this information. And we've helped all kinds of people, from people just turned 18 years old, they're looking to start their first, big career in real estate, to people that have had several careers in the past and maybe they're just looking for something to do during their retirement. So this is possible for anyone. In the state of Florida, it's not really that significant of a licensing requirement compared to a lot of other states. A lot of other states, it's significantly more difficult, not only in the education, but also in the background clearance as well, to get a real estate license. With Florida, they keep it relatively easy for this process. As it is right now, they could always make it harder as well. So if you're thinking about getting this real estate license, get in there before they make this any more difficult for you. There's no obligation for you to actually go out and practice real estate once you have the license. You could just get the license and decide to keep the license and hang on to it until you are ready, or until you do decide that you want to practice real estate. That's our licensing steps really in a nutshell there. That's really everything it is you've got to do. 4 simple steps. You've done these things. You have a real estate license. Now, what we're going to talk about next is, okay, now you've got your real estate license, how it is that you go about earning money. We're going to do some calculations on commissions. We're going to talk about, the broker aspect, what role it is that they play in this. The other information is that you've got to know what it is that you're going to need to be successful with your real estate license. But first, we're going to take a quick commercial break, so stick with us. I'm John Charisma. The show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate, and you're watching Ask the Instructor. If you've been thinking about real estate, look, in this current market, it's hard not to. There's so many opportunities that exist out there for residential real estate, commercial real estate, business brokerage, property management. I mean, it's ridiculous how much opportunity lies from having a real estate license. So look, if you've been thinking about getting a real estate license, I mean, it's minimal cost compared to starting other careers and starting other businesses to get into this. So I urge you to check it out and give it a try. I mean, even if you're just using your license for personal use, you've got huge, immense benefits there. Go to this link. It's licensefl.com. That's licensefl.com. put that link in the description. It's got your step-by-step guide to get a Florida real estate license. And look, check it out. Give us a call. We're here to answer any questions it is that you have, and go out there and make some money.
Does your current career allow for unlimited income potential? With a career in real estate, the sky is the limit. What you put in is what you get out. Find out more about how you can tap into the unlimited income potential of a career in real estate at tampaschool.com. Did you know that statewide only about 50% of test takers pass their state exam on the first try? At the Tampa School of Real Estate, we've broken down passing class and state exams into 4 simple steps: learning the information, reinforcing the information, testing your knowledge, and being confident and prepared. View the details of the full strategy at passfirsttry.com. That's passfirsttry.com.
Hey, if you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hey, we're back on Ask the Instructor. It's our weekly live stream that we do every Wednesday at 12 noon Eastern Time to help you understand the technical side of the real estate industry. And if really anything seems technical, especially when you've just thought about real estate, maybe you've seen some of the shows on HGTV or something like that, and you say, hey, I could do that. Yeah, most people can do this. I would go on a limb and say anyone could do this. Anyone could sell at least one home if they put their mind to it. And if they really put their mind to it, they could really sell several homes and make a long-term business out of this. Really, a lot of this is all about the knowledge it is that you have. Knowing these steps it is and knowing the information that you're going to learn in your pre-licensing course, you'll start to see things come together. And we do these live streams every Wednesday for Ask the Instructor and every Friday for State of Real Estate, both at 12 noon Eastern Time. If you're not subscribed to us yet, make sure you're subscribed to our channel, because every week, really every day, we're posting videos that will give you information about how to launch a successful real estate career, how to take your successful real estate career and make it even better. We've got a lot of information, State of Real Estate, especially on Fridays, where we're focused specifically on growing your real estate business. And we do this because we know it's about the knowledge. We want you to be successful. We want to see our students out there dominating the real estate market, because we know that that looks good on us when we've helped change people's life. And it feels good as well. We're out there to help you. Give us a call. We have advisors standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way it is they can. You've got the phone number right below. It's 813-928-0106. But now let's get back to obtaining a real estate license and actually making some money, the things it is that you need to do. So we talked about going through this licensing process. And just to throw some cost in here for this stuff, I mean, if you do the classroom course with us, it's about $300. It's $297. Online it is $249. So $250 to $300 for your licensing course. The application, like I said, currently about $83. The fingerprinting, we'll say, it's $50 to $60 really. And then your state exam, currently about $38 to take that. So, I mean, we're not talking a lot of money here. I mean, if you're able to take your exam one time, under $500. You can even have some money left over to invest in some of the study tools that we offer to help you get ready to take your exam. But, I mean, you're looking at maybe about $500 to get your real estate license. And that allows you to have a license. But now let's talk about what happens once you have this license and how we move closer towards actually earning money. So you've got to go through that licensing process first and foremost. But what you'll start out with is an inactive license. So your inactive license doesn't allow you to practice real estate. It doesn't allow you to earn any compensation. This, as an inactive license, is basically the same as not having a license. So the Florida Real Estate Commission, these are the people that are in charge of the real estate industry in Florida. They're appointed by the governor of Florida, and they say that sales associates, your initial real estate license, that you can't practice independently, that you can't go out there with your sales associate license on your own and go sell somebody's house and earn compensation for that. The reason why is the Florida Real Estate Commission and the licensing provisions exist to protect the public, to make sure that there's not people out there scamming people and doing things that aren't legal and doing things that are maybe unethical as well. So they want to make sure that the public is protected. So even though you've passed your licensing exams, what the definition of what you are as somebody who has a real estate license, a sales associate license, is minimally competent. So minimally competent. So how do we turn that inactive license now into an active license? So to go from inactive to active, because active, this is where you want to be, because active is where you could start actually making the money. Got to have an active license to be able to make money serving in real estate, is you have to register with a broker or an owner-developer. There's really two options you have, either broker or owner-developer. Now, the route I typically recommend is under a broker, but depending on your goals and your priorities, the owner-developer might be a viable option as well. And basically, you're having to register under one of these entities. So let's talk about the broker side of this. And this is why the Florida Real Estate Commission doesn't allow you to operate independently, is because they don't trust you enough. They know that you're not experienced. They know that, yes, you have passed your real estate license exam, but they want you paired up with somebody who has experience, so underneath somebody that has experience. Now, this isn't like a normal job interview process. Brokers want to recruit new agents. I mean, you file an application for your real estate license and you're going to be bombarded by letters, by emails, by phone calls of brokers that are in your area that want you to come work with them. And the reason why is because they have a vested interest in you. The way brokers typically make money, there's two ways. They could either make money by selling real estate themselves, and in that case, they're not really a good managing broker. They're not a good broker of their agents because they have their own business of their own properties to sell with. We call those competing brokers, and you typically don't want your broker competing with you. But that's one way they can make money. The other way they make money is off of their agents. But the structure it is that you're looking for, because there's a lot of different structures about the brokers it is that you could choose, and there's 100% brokers where you keep all your commissions and you pay some sort of monthly fee. There's brokers where you're paying some sort of commission split where they're only getting paid off of you actually selling things, and then there's the hybrids of the two of those as well, where it kind of ties in both of those models. What I recommend as a new agent is you want to find a broker that does have a commission split, a healthy commission split. And you might say, well, how can a commission split be healthy? I want to keep all the money for myself. And look, I get it. But what's 100% of zero? It's zero. You can keep all of zero, but it's still zero. So the reason why you want a broker that has a vested interest in you, and let's say there's a 70-30 split. And we're going to do some commission math on this as well, so stick with us till later in the show where we're actually doing the math on this. 70-30 split. Let's use that for an example. That's a common one that you see quite a bit. And this would basically mean that 70% goes to you and 30% goes to the broker. And if we're talking about a $10,000 commission, that means $3,000 going to the broker. But, and that might sound bad, wait a minute, I've got to pay the broker $3,000? No. $7,000 is coming to you out of this $10,000 check, and the broker is keeping $3,000 of this. So with these commission splits, you're not paying this up front. They're making money when you make money. So you can see how your interests get aligned. They want you, in this type of situation, they're counting on you to make money. So they want you to make money. They want you to close deals when they have this vested interest in you. The 100% brokers are great if you know what you're doing, if you do not need that structure of a broker. But as a new agent, not only legally are you required to have that structure of a broker, but you'll want and need that structure of a broker to make sure when maybe a deal starts falling apart. Look, as long as I've been doing real estate, there's new things I learn every single day. I'm constantly learning about new things in real estate, and that's not unique to me. Everyone in the real estate industry, there's always new things. There's always new methods and new tools and new strategies and new documents and new systems and things like that. So you'll want a broker that'll help guide you and help mentor you through this process, especially when you're first starting out in real estate. So don't think of it that they're taking this money from you. They're helping you get this money in your pocket, because like I said, what's 100% of zero? It's still zero. So it's absolutely worth it. Now, once you know what it is that you're doing, renegotiate that with your broker, or go find a broker that does allow a higher commission split once you feel like you've gotten to the point where you don't need that much of a hands-on broker, because the higher percentage it is that the broker is taking, in theory, that broker should be more hands-on. There should be better systems. There should be better support in place with a higher commission split. And that support is what you need as a new agent to make sure it is that you're closing deals. So let's do some calculations on commission here. Let's make some sense of these numbers here, because you might see this. I mean, I know this is a turnoff because a lot of people start a real estate career to, be their own boss, and you are your own boss. You're an independent contractor. The broker is overseeing the things it is that you do, but they're not going to, I've never seen a broker, and they typically can, with you being an independent contractor, saying you need to be here this time, this place. Maybe the brokers out there exist like that, but it's very much around your schedule. I mean, really, your working hours are you scheduling time around appointments. So we're going to also talk about how it is that we earn this commission, but first, let's do the math. Let's do the numbers on this to see, how much is possible. What's this potential? And so what we're going to do, so average price home in Hillsborough County currently is about $300,000. Some other counties in Florida, like the Miami-Dade County and like Sarasota, I think Manatee County as well, is one of the ones that's a little bit higher than that. I think I've seen some of them. I just checked this recently the other day, are selling for about $600,000. The Hillsborough County, $300,000. For the average price, it was like $303,000, I think it was. We're going to say $300,000 to keep nice, even round numbers here. So we take this $300,000. So we get paid based on the sales. If this property doesn't sell, we don't get paid. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk more about the logistics of it, but let's do the math first. Now, typically, you'll see something around maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8% commission, somewhere in that range. And we'll talk about who sets that commission rate, how you negotiate that commission rate, and why it is that you're getting paid that commission rate as well. But again, let's just do the math first. Let's choose an example of 6%. Let's say that you're getting a 6% commission. So we've got our sale price, and we've got our commission. So 6% commission. Now, the way it is we do this math, we're going to put this in our calculator as 0.06 because we go 2 decimal places over. And we're going to take 300,000 and multiply it by 0.06. And when we do that, we should end up with $18,000 in total commission. So that's how much money is on the table. That's how much money is being paid in this transaction for a $300,000 property is $18,000 in commission with a 6% commission rate. That commission rate goes higher, this number becomes higher. But let's talk, so this is the total commission. And there's usually 2 different parties involved in the transaction. So you have your what's called listing agent, or we'll call it listing brokerage because we've got to get down to the agent level in just a second. So your listing office and then the selling office. So this is typically, and again, we'll talk about who negotiates this, who sets this, but it's usually a 50-50 split. 50% going this way, 50% going that way. Now, what happens if you list the property for sale and you also find the buyer, which happens fairly often, not all the time, but fairly often, you'll get both sides of this commission. Meaning it won't be a 50-50 split, because when we break this out into 50-50 between the 2 offices, it goes down to only $9,000. And we're going to talk about the hours it takes to actually go through this, because when you break it down to the hours it takes for actually closing the deal, it's going to beat most professions out there, I can assure you that. And we'll go off of that and we'll do that calculation. So if we break this out 50-50, it's $9,000 going to the 2 different offices. This is how a lot of transactions, most transactions I would say, are sold, with a cooperating broker, with somebody representing the buyer, bringing you a buyer. And what that ultimately means for you as a listing agent is less work for you, because now you have somebody else working for the other side of the deal. But it comes at a cost. It is splitting that commission with them. And that's what our MLS system is based on. It was originally formed and founded based on the idea that that brokers can cooperate in selling a property and share the profits from the commission. So if you do find the buyer as well, that $18,000 is just going into one office, and that's now split between you and your broker based on whatever your commission split may be. Let's go off of these two examples here. So we've got two different agents here. This is, remember, the sellers, and this is the buyer's agent. Now let's say the seller's agent. Let's say the seller's agent, and you're the agent for the seller. You're the representative of the seller. You're the one that got the listing. We'll talk about a few things about what it is that you do when you're in this position, basically. But if this is you, and let's say that we've got a 70-30 split. So a 70-30 split here, we'll use that same number we figured earlier. So the 70-30 split, that means to you as the sales associate, we're going to end up with, so with the broker, we're going to end up with about $2,700 going to the broker. And I should pull up my calculator with this here, make sure we don't jumble this here. It's going to be right about just a little over $7,300, I think that is. $6,300. And as you can see, you don't have to be a math whiz to be able to do this. On your exams, for any math you might have to calculate, as well as if you're trying to calculate commissions in the real world, you got one of these things. You can't use your phone on the exam, but you could always use a calculator for any of this stuff here. So $6,300 going to you as the listing agent, $2,700 going to the broker there. Now let's say on the buyer's side, let's say the buyer's agent here in this case is maybe a little bit more experienced agent. And let's say that maybe they have a let's do a little bit of math here and show you how this could be different. Let's say there's a 10%, a 90-10 commission split. So 90% goes to the agent, 10% goes to the broker. That means the agent's going to end up with $8,100 and then the broker $900. So like I said, when you're first starting out, you might be more in this case here where you need the broker, you need their support systems, you need their help in your transactions, and that help does come at a cost. But remember, that cost is helping put the money in your pocket. So you might earn $6,300 there, the broker earns $2,700. You do that a few times. You start to learn the ropes. You start to know what it is that you're doing. I would recommend renegotiating your commission structure with your broker. And if your broker refuses to renegotiate your commission structure, it's understandable. And if you want to stay with that broker, stay with the broker. But if you don't believe that you're getting the value of that $2,700, you could always change brokers. There's really nothing that's going to hold you to a current broker other than maybe your pending deals. You might want to wait until those deals close before you change brokers. But let's say down the road you get more experience and you move up to a broker, or you renegotiate with your broker a new commission split, and now you're getting 90% and the broker keeps 10%. So the broker still makes some money here, but now you gave yourself a raise by renegotiating that commission structure. And like I said, maybe you have to change brokers in order to do that. Or, for brokers out there that are watching this and saying, what are you doing telling my agents to renegotiate their commission split? Look, if you want to keep those agents around, you should, because there's a lot of brokers out there. It's a competitive market, and you need to stay competitive. So if you're charging the 70-30, you better have something that's worth that value. And check your brokers on this stuff. If you don't think you're getting the value, find out what it is you're missing out on. Maybe you're missing out on something that's worth that value, and if it's not worth it, renegotiate it or trade in for a new broker. You always have that power. Remember, you're your own boss. You're in control of this here, and you could actually become a broker yourself to just work independently. Or if you're looking to maybe hire other agents and basically be the broker now and be a managing broker, helping agents become successful and earning money off of every property they sell. You just need 2 years of experience as well as taking a course and passing another exam to get a broker license. So get your kind of apprenticeship in working under a broker. That goes on for about 2 years. It has to be 2 years at a minimum that you have active experience, and you become eligible to become a broker. So you can upgrade your real estate license to a broker license, and then you can keep all this money if you want. You could maybe move into the role more so of managing agents and managing sales associates, but that gives you a little bit of idea of the money. And look, let's say even in this case here, this is an average price home. I'm not even saying you're out there selling $1 million or a $3 million home or a $4 million home. Those homes out there absolutely do exist, and these dollar amounts get so much higher when we start multiplying this. I mean, if this were a $6,000 home, that would be $36,000 total commission, $18,000 that is split, and $12,600 that you'd end up there. And $600,000 homes are fairly common in the Tampa Bay area. That's not even any stretch of the imagination. There's lots of those there. There's a big variety of homes, and that's why the average price right now is about $300,000. But like I said, even selling an average home at a 6% commission, you walk away, even with a 70-30 commission split, where your broker's taking 30% of that, $6,300. And I don't care how many exam prep tools it is that you buy, that you need to take to pass the exam, even realtor dues and realtor fees and access to the MLS and other costs, business cards and things like that. That $6,300 is going to, at the very least, cover any cost it is that you have to start your real estate business. So if you could sell one property like the scenario it is that we have here, you've got your cost covered. You're already probably going to be in the green once you hit this here, depending on certain variables. You might need to sell a couple of these. You probably want to sell a couple of these. I mean, if you get to selling one of these a month, it's 12 times a year. If you could sell one of these a month, that's over $70,000 in gross commission income. If you're just selling one property a month, that's not asking a lot. I mean, you could be a part-time agent and a good part-time agent and sell one property a month. I mean, if you do, there's agents out there that are selling properties and closing deals every single day. Multiply that number, or maybe multiply this number by 365. And now you start to understand what's possible out there and what is potential. I mean, so many agents are hindered just by not realizing that they have the potential to make a six-figure income. We have had agents that have got their real estate license and in their first year made over six figures. That's not a guaranteed result. That's not going to happen to everyone, because not everyone's going to put their mind to it and really focus on learning what they need to know and executing what it is that they've learned. If you could do that, if you're in a good brokerage relationship with your broker that's helping you go through this process, and this is a broker who has a proven track record of getting new agents to become successful, this isn't out of the question at all. This becomes expected. That's where you've got a difference really of a good broker and an okay broker. An okay broker will say, yeah, it'd be great if you could sell a house. Yeah, go ahead and try and do that. Whereas a good broker is going to expect you. They're a good broker, if they've got good systems, if they've got good training, if they've got good tools, if they've got a good support system, when you don't sell something, they're going to be concerned, because they're like, well, what's wrong here? Why isn't this working? So this is something absolutely possible. Now, this is the money it is that can be made. Now, on the listing side of things, it typically takes, on average, according to the National Association of Realtors, 8 hours of working time to close a listing deal. On the buyer side, it's about 24 hours. So it does take a little bit longer to close a buyer. So yeah, if you could focus on sellers, you could focus on getting listings, you'll definitely be more efficient. But let's do the math on these here, and you tell me whether this beats your current hourly wage. The answer is probably going to be yes, because there's really not many careers out there, unless like you've got some sort of very profitable business it is that you're running, and then maybe you just want to do something on the side because you're bored. But let's say 8 hours for $6,300, so $6,300 cross 8 hours, almost $800 an hour, $787.50 per hour if you put 8 hours of working time into the deal. Let's say you don't take the average. Let's say this is your first deal and we double this. And say it's going to take 16 hours. So let's say it takes you double the amount of time that the average agent, according to the National Association of Realtors, the average agent is 8 hours. Let's say it's double that. All we're going to do is take the $787 now, divide it by 2. $400 an hour almost, $393.75 per hour. And look, I'm not trying to be a snake oil salesman here or anything like that. This is possible. There's agents out there that are doing this. Not everyone's doing that, I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of agents that hang out at the office and they like to, play office and, hang out. And look, that's okay. Not everyone wants to make money. Not everyone wants to build a thriving business. But if that's you, if you're interested in doing that, this is a great vehicle for your success. Let's go over here. Let's say even with the 24 hours of time, let's say the 24 hours with the $8,100 in commission, it's do another math here. And look, I'm teaching you how to do this math so you know how to do this math yourself. So you could start playing with these numbers. Maybe you have your real estate license. You should be tracking how long you're spending in time. You know how like attorneys, they log their hours. Hopefully you don't know how attorneys have to be paid. You're very fortunate if you don't know how attorneys have to be paid. But if you do know how attorneys are paid, they log whenever it is that they're working on something for you. So you should be doing that as well, so you're keeping track of how efficient it is that you're being. And you'll notice that time scrolling through Facebook or on Twitter or on Instagram or, doing things that aren't profitable, how that's impacting your hourly rates. So you manage yourself a little bit here and you'll make yourself more profitable. Let's say the $8,100 here. So $8,100 that you'd be getting in gross commission here, we'll divide that out by 24 hours. Only $337 per hour. And again, that is because it does take you a little bit longer time to work with a buyer. But I say only $337 per hour. Show me a career that USF or any of these universities, and not to call out one in particular because they're all fairly much the same. You're spending $40,000 a year to maybe earn $20 an hour, maybe earn $30 an hour, maybe earn $50 an hour. Go into one of these advising offices and say, hey, I want to make at least $300 an hour. They'll say, well, come on, you got to be realistic. You're just a college kid. No, don't buy into their BS about what's possible and what's potential. You're being advised by somebody that's maybe paid $50,000, $60,000 a year. Nothing against them, because look, if you really enjoy what it is that you're doing, maybe you want to help others and you want to be a doctor, great, go to college, because we need doctors. We need people to take care of others. But look, if you want to make money, maybe you're the doctor and you're looking to do this on the weekends. Maybe when it is that you're not helping people live to survive, you're helping people find a home and making a lot of money doing this. A lot of people get into real estate part-time and they, just do this on the side. You close one of these a year. One deal, one house, one $300,000 house, and $6,300. That's going to pay for a nice vacation. That might help with your kids' tuition payments. That might help whenever it is that you need money, you have a vehicle and an opportunity to go out there, put some work in, and earn money. That's what's great about real estate, is it's you that decides. You're the boss. And you can either be a good boss, or you can be a little tough on yourself, give yourself some tough love to make yourself really be the best you can be, or you can be the boss that lets you goof off and hang out and whatever. Look, real estate, it's all possible. If you're looking to just close one of these a year, that's possible. If you're looking to close 100 of these a year, it's possible. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. You're going to have to work a little bit harder. You're going to have to learn a little bit more. You're going to have the right training and be in the right vehicle for the success, but this makes it possible. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but stick with us because I want to talk about what it is that we're actually doing to make hundreds of dollars an hour working with the clients. What value it is that we're contributing that makes us worth this amount. So stick with us. I'm John Christmer. You're watching Ask the Instructor. Hey, so if you're thinking about starting a real estate career, it could feel a little overwhelming sometimes. Look, that's completely understandable. That's why we're here to help. If you haven't already, check out our Success Center, tampaschool.com/success, or if you don't even know where to begin, give us a call. We'd love to help you out. We've got advisors standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way it is that we can. Our phone number is 813-928-0106. Again, that's 813-928-0106. Give us a call. We're the Tampa School of Real Estate.
Do you want a career that allows you to be in control? With a career in real estate, you'll get to call the shots. Whether you're looking at starting part-time or want to become the next top agent, a career in real estate makes it possible. Find out what it takes at tampaschool.com. Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
Are you thinking about a career in real estate? Hey, I'm John Christman with the Tampa School of Real Estate, and we've helped thousands of people just like you obtain their real estate license. If you're thinking about a career in real estate, give us a call. The phone number is 813-928-0106. Our advisors are standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way they can. If you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of Ask the Instructor. Every Wednesday, 12 noon Eastern Time, we talk about the technical side of the real estate industry. And look, some of the technical stuff, that's maybe where we're bringing an expert in that subject matter in something. You know, with coming up with value, when it starts to get too technical, I mean, that's where there's more regulations, we bring in an appraiser. We bring in surveyors to tell exactly where the property is. We bring in inspectors to find out if the property is in the condition it looks like it's in. We have so many people it is that we work with, and before we went on break, I was talking about why it is. What do we do that makes us worth hundreds of dollars an hour based off of these average times given to us by the National Association of Realtors for an average agent? And like I said, even if it took you double the amount of time, how much money that ended up still being. And we're executives. That's who we are in real estate. You're not the one-man show. Even if you are the one man or the one woman show, the one person that's out there running your whole real estate business, maybe it's you and your broker's helping you out a little bit, but you're really doing all the stuff. You're lead generating, you're finding clients, you're showing them homes, you're doing the contracts, and you're doing it all. You're still not alone. I mean, you've got your broker there to support you in this process, and whatever support systems and support teams they have in place to assist you and make sure that you could close deals. But then on top of that, we've got all these people, the appraisers, the inspectors, the surveyors, the closing companies, the title agents, the title insurance companies. I mean, there's the mold remediation people. When a property has mold, there's the pest control and termite people when the properties have termites. There's all these different inspectors and people that are there that we're bringing together. We're the experts that are making sure the deal is staying in place and staying together. And look, if you really want to make a dent in the real estate industry, if you want to really grab market share, if you really want to go out there and be successful, that's where you start teaming yourself with others. And this is where you really get into building a business. Because when you're the one person show, you're limited. Not by the money. I mean, we just talking about one deal, $6,300. That's going to cover your expenses and then some. Because it costs nowhere near this amount. Even joining the most expensive realtor boards in your area. You might even join the most expensive broker. And even if they're charging you thousands of dollars up front, that one deal is going to cover that. But now the question is, are they really going to get you that one deal? Now, when we look at this here, and we see, okay, I mean, potentially if we're going off this average, what do we figure? Like $800 an hour, I think it was, something around that amount there, which just is ridiculous. Now, even if we're not getting that much, even if it takes us more time, and we might have some costs that are associated with this, we're maybe advertising in places, which you should be. The advertising is reinvesting in your business, reinvesting in your brand, so that you've got clients lined up to work with you, and you get those 8 hours through, you get paid, and then you're done. But when we start to bring in other people, let's say, because this happens, because you might, if I'm working in my business, what if I want to take a vacation? What happens when I'm gone for 2 weeks in a more tropical paradise than Florida? Or maybe you're going out to the mountains to cool off for a little bit, maybe do a little bit of skiing. Or maybe you're visiting family and wherever that may be. And you want to take time off. Maybe you don't want to take 2 weeks off, you want to take a month off. That's possible. There's nothing that's going to stop you. You don't have to ask for time off from anybody. That's up to you. And the beauty of this is you could actually even run a lot of your business from anywhere in the world. The beauty of these devices, of our laptops, of our phones, and the technology that exists to be able to operate our business from anywhere in the world makes that possible. But, there's some times where you do have to be there. But that's, like I said, where you start bringing in other people, where you start bringing in maybe somebody just to handle the calls it is that you're getting. If you're doing a great job advertising yourself and building a good referral base of customers, I mean, you might not always have time to answer your phone when you're out showing properties to clients. So what do you do then? We find some sort of solution to manage our phone calls. That could be, there's a lot of solutions now. I was just watching something the other day about Google where they have like this personal assistant that literally will call restaurants and make reservations for you, or call a hair salon and make a hair appointment for you. You just ask their little Google Assistant, and you know, it's crazy what that technology that exists. And not to make this video outdated and say, oh, you could only do a person. No, I mean, there's robots now we could even bring into this. There's computers we could bring into this now to help us operate our business. I mean, maybe you don't want to hire an assistant to answer your phone calls. Maybe you invest in some sort of answering service. You know, there's answering services out there that'll answer your phone calls, that'll be a live person. It's similar to a voicemail type of process, but except for it's an actual live person, and you're much more likely to get the information, the contact information it is that you need when they're actually talking to a person rather than just talking to a voicemail. A lot of times when I get a voicemail, and it's somebody it is that wants to do business with me, if they're not answering their phone, if they don't have somebody answering their phone, probably not going to leave a voicemail. If they want the business, they could call me back. So we find these other ways to help monetize all of this here. And you know, look, if you're looking now to grow your business even further, tune in to State of Real Estate on Fridays, because we talk about a lot of topics like this, from holding more effective open houses to all these things it is that we can do to improve our business. But let's talk about what it is that we're doing. So we're talking about, you know, we're the executive. We're the people that are in charge of this real estate transaction. So let's talk about the listing, because I mean, that obviously is going to sound like the more attractive one. It's 3 times as much time to close a buyer as it is to close a seller. 24 hours on average to close a buyer as opposed to 8 hours of time to close a seller. Now, I mean, when you're first starting out, you got to take what you could get, and maybe you won't make as much money working with the buyer. I mean, what was it, only $337 we figured off of that example we were going through and doing here. But let's say now what it is that we actually do. So how do we find that seller in the first place? How do we find somebody that wants to sell a home? Look, this is a people business, and there's a lot of ways for you to interact with other people. I mean, the old school method is the face-to-face. I mean, you can go out there knocking on doors, picking up the phone and calling people. Maybe it's just a friend or family member you know that needs to sell their house, and that works, and there's a lot more productive, efficient ways to generate business as well if we're advertising effectively, where we could establish a line of people, a pipeline of people waiting to do business with us. But ultimately, let's say we find one of these sellers, and we find somebody that wants to sell a property, or somebody found us. That's really what we want to strive for, is they're looking for us when they want to sell their property. That's when you've really built up your brand and built up your business to people know that you're the real estate expert. And so we come into interaction with this person that's thinking about selling their property. And this is a lot easier than it sounds when you know the different ways it is that you could find sellers. You find something that works, and now all of a sudden you've got a system to really have a business. What having a business is having systems. You don't have any systems, you don't have a business. You might have a job, you might have something you do to earn money, but it's systems that create a business. So we find the seller, and we go to the seller's house, or we meet the seller at our office, or wherever it is that we're meeting the seller. And basically what we're doing is we're showing them how it is that we're going to market their property, how it is that we could help get their property sold. And, you know, we might question that, where are we really worth that much money per hour? Are we really worth 5, 6, 7% of the sale price of the property? Are we worth that much? To answer that question, we've got another statistic from the National Association of Realtors. You could get as much as 25% more selling your house with a realtor than you would selling your house on your own. Up to 25% more. So if I were to give you $25, would you give me $6 for that $25? Why not? Why wouldn't you give me $6 if I'm going to give you $25 in return? What if I were to only give you $10? Would you give me $7? If I were to say, hey, I've got a $10 bill, will you give me $7 and I'll give you this $10 bill? Even in that case. And look, if maybe we're saying, hey, look, I'll trade you my $7 for your $7. Even in that break-even scenario, what do we have to lose? So the possible of help and assistance we could have, this is what makes us worth it. Because if we're good at what we do, we might even get more than this, than what they could do on their own. So it's our abilities to market the property and get the property sold and negotiate that deal to get them the highest and best price it is that they could possibly get on this property. And that takes a lot of superior knowledge. There's a lot of information you'll learn in your pre-licensing course that you, looking to start a real estate career, would have never known, let alone somebody just thinking about selling their house. So up to 25% more by using a realtor. I mean, if you could get away with maybe charging a 20% commission, they would still make money if we're getting them 25. Because if I were to ask you, would you give me $25 would you give me $20 if I would give you $25? Yeah, you'd still make $5. That's the same thing. What we're doing with this commission percentage, we get paid a commission, maybe it's 6%, but if we're getting them a 10% higher value, even just a 10% higher value than what they could doing it on their own, they're ultimately netting an additional 4%. If we get them 20% more, they're getting 14% more. So no obligation to them. They're not paying us up front. Now, you can actually charge them up front. That's one way, but most of the time this is typically done by charging them only a commission based on if you do what you said you're going to do, if you get the property sold. And it's ultimately up to them. I mean, you're going to advise them, you're going to tell them what it is that they should do, but ultimately the decisions are up to them. So if they say, well, what if you can't give me 25% more? It's up to you. You don't have to accept any of the offers it is that I present to you. That decision of who you sell your property to and what you sell it for, as well as anything regarding the sale of your property, is your decision. Now, I'll advise you so that you make the best decision, but ultimately that is your decision in the end. So they're not going to find themselves for selling a property for less than what they want to sell it for, because if they accept that offer, it's because they wanted to sell it for that price. Maybe not as much as they had wanted, but they're still willing to sell it maybe for that lower price. But that statistic there, if we had them do this on their own, if their expectation was here and we're able to get right here, that expectation is still going to be what it is when they're selling on their own, but they'd be down here as opposed to up here with us. So we're getting them closer to that. So even if we don't get them ideally what it is that they want, we're going to get them up to 25% more by using us. And a lot of that power comes from the tools, the systems it is that we have, from being able to put the property in the MLS and effectively negotiate it. Just having a third party to negotiate the deal gives you so much more leverage when you're buying or selling a property, buying and selling, both sides. So we talk to the seller, we convince them to use us, we convince them to pay us what it is that they're asking to pay us, and that commission, that doesn't even go to us completely. So we explain to them how, we have costs it is that we have to cover, we're going to have some costs that we're paying up front maybe to market their property, and they're not paying a single penny up front, and we've got to split that commission with somebody else if they find the buyer for the property. So we explain to them how it is that this breaks down with this commission. And they get it, they understand, they're ready to go. So we fill out our listing agreement, they sign off on it, and we've agreed to that breakdown of how this commission is structured. As the listing agent, you're the one that controls the commission that's paid on this transaction. How much it is that you're earning, how much that you're going to pay to a cooperating broker for them bringing a buyer to the property. You, as the listing agent, are in charge. Now, there's really no reason that any buyers should ever buy a property on their own, because this commission is pre-negotiated and paid out of the seller's net proceeds of the sale. So the seller is typically agreeing to pay the entire commission for both the buyer and the seller's agents. So that means there's absolutely no money up front, unless maybe you want to charge a retainer, maybe because you're so good and you've got so little time that you only want to work with serious buyers, so maybe you charge some sort of retainer up front. You could do that with a buyer brokerage agreement. But aside from that, and those retainers would just be basically some sort of deposit it is that goes towards your service. But in most typical transactions, it's the seller that pays for everything, the buyer doesn't pay for anything. So it doesn't make any sense for a buyer to go purchase a property on their own without representation. Even if they know what they're doing, the ability of having that third party to negotiate the deal gives them so much more leverage and so much more power in the negotiation process to be able to get the buyer ultimately a lower price. You know, with the sellers, we're trying to get them the highest price. The buyers, we're trying to get them the lowest price on the property, as well as do this in the quickest, easiest manner possible. With the sellers, we want to get their property sold quickly. With a buyer, they might think they want to go look at 30, 40 homes, but we're doing a bad job if they're having to look at 30, 40 homes to make a decision, because every home it is that they look at after that first home it is that they see, they look at one home, they've got an easy decision. Do they like it or not? No, they don't like it. Okay, easy decision. But now we start adding other variables. We start adding other homes. Well, which one of these homes do you like better? Do you like this one? Do you like this one? We're further complicating the decision. So a lot of this, we're kind of counseling the buyers as well through this process of helping them through this. And this does take time. And I would argue that the reason why that statistic for the National Association of Realtors is so much higher when you're working with buyers is because a lot of realtors don't do a good job counseling their clients. So if you would be a good job, and look, this is a sales profession. You do get paid based on sales, but this is honest and fair dealing types of sales. No offense to any used car dealers out there, but you guys know the stereotype that exists. And we're not, trying to sling houses and push a house on it that's a busted, beat up house. Because that's bad ultimately in the long run for our business. That's what's ultimately going to make us look like, we only care about the money. And yeah, we might close a few quick deals, but our reputation will quickly catch up to us. It's almost impossible to survive in the real estate industry by not dealing fairly and ethically, because people could find out about that now. If you don't deal fairly and ethically, they'll be able to find that online. There'll be people, even if you don't solicit reviews, if you do a bad service to them, if you do a bad job, they don't need your solicitation for a review. They're going to go out there and post reviews. They might go to the papers, go to the local news, and there's so many ways, there's so many channels for people to expose you if you're an unethical and fair dealer. So that's not what this is about. This is about helping people find their dream home, helping people sell their home in the quickest and most efficient manner possible while getting them the most money in their pocket when they sell the property. We're here to help. We're here to assist. That's what our job is. We earn our commission by helping our clients and giving value to our clients, by helping them sell for more, helping them buy for less, making the process easy and fun. Because when the process is fun, it's fun for us and it's fun for the clients. Even if it's fun for us, if it's not fun for the clients, it's going to make it not so fun for us if they don't enjoy what it is that they're doing in this process. So this should be a fun, easy, enjoyable process. And the more experience it is that you get at this, you might be petrified and terrified the first deal it is that you do, but they only get easier after that. You get one under your belt. All right, that wasn't so bad. I did it. Didn't completely blow up in my face. Now I know what to do the next time to make it a little bit better. Okay, that one's a little bit better, but I learned some new things. Let's make it a little bit better. And you're constantly in this improvement process, making yourself more efficient, making yourself more profitable, getting you more business, building a referral base, building a reputation. You have the chance to build an empire in real estate. And that's something that's not possible with a lot of other careers out there. I'm very passionate about real estate, and look, I've seen the dark side. I grew up in real estate, but real estate wasn't my first career. It wasn't, because I saw this, I grew up in real estate and it's like, oh no, I want to do my own thing. I've got to go to college, got to go get a degree, got to go get a good job. It's a steady job. I bought into that. 5 years into that, I was burnt out. I was done. And the reason why is because I felt stifled. I felt choked, that I couldn't get as high and as fast as I wanted to. I couldn't get up and move through the tiers quick enough. I didn't want to spend my life slowly crawling to maybe someday hopefully be able to see the top. No, I wanted instant results. I wanted to be able to put money in and put work in and be able to get immediate results that reflect the effort and money and time it is that I've invested in that scenario. And with real estate, I was able to find that. Take some time. You're not going to immediately be that all-star, rock-star real estate agent as soon as you get your real estate license. I don't want to say that, because maybe you can be. I'm not going to say you can't, because if you maybe have some sort of sales experience, you might immediately become a rock star in real estate. But even if you've never sold lemonade at a lemonade stand before, you find the training, the tools. This can be taught. This is not something that you just have it or you don't. I hate that. Anything can be learned. Anything can be learned if you put enough work, if you put enough time in it, if you put enough effort into it. It's possible. If you've got questions about this, if you're thinking about starting a career in real estate, if you're excited about this, look, enroll online at licencefl.com. Get into one of our courses, and you'll start learning more about the real estate industry. Get your application in. Get this process rolling. Because look, the market is hot now. The safe is open. And yeah, there might be ups and downs. There's cycles all the time in any industry. And we're still on the way up right now. That safe is opening, and it's opening wider. There's lots of development going in, and we got to get in. We've got to make the money while the market's hot. So if there is maybe some sort of downturn, if there is some sort of unexpectedness, that we've got not only funding and reserves to cover us if there's a little down cycle, to cover us even our personal business will have ups and downs in it, because we go on vacation. Now all of a sudden, maybe our business goes down a little bit. Maybe we get a little bit of lazy, and we get a little complacent, and we're not always looking for that growth. So maybe we go down a little bit. But if you're building up this reserve and this funds, a lot of people get into real estate because they're looking to invest in real estate. And there's really no better way to learn about investing in real estate than helping others invest in real estate. You get to see firsthand the things it is people do, the mistakes it is that they might make. And then that way you know about this, and when you've built up enough reserves, when you've bankrolled enough of your commission money that you could go and invest, and you maybe buy some houses, or you buy some apartments, or you do whatever it is that you want with that money, but you've learned in that process about what it is to do. Real estate is a catalyst for success. And even if you don't end up making it in real estate, even if you decide it's not for you, you're going to be better from taking this course. You're going to be better from going through this process. You'll learn more about housing. You'll learn more about real estate. We live in a real estate-centric world. Everyone needs real estate. Everyone. Whether they're renting it or whether they're buying it, we can make money either way. There's opportunities that exist for us even with rentals. And there's some very lucrative opportunities out there with rentals as well. There's opportunities everywhere. We live in a real estate world. One of the few things that everyone must have is shelter. It's the hierarchy of needs. Shelter, it's right above food and water. You gotta have food and water first. I think water first and then food, but then shelter is right behind it. Now, the water thing, that's a pretty competitive market. There's a lot out there. It takes a lot of investment to get into selling water. So I don't recommend that. Food, the food industry is one of the ones experiencing one of these ups and down cycles right now, because there's a lot of restaurants out there. That's an oversaturated market. And there's a lot of change going on with that there. And again, there's a lot of upfront startup costs to go open up some sort of restaurant. So food and water, maybe not the best place to go for the things people need, but shelter, the real estate, minimal cost for the opportunity that exist. Minimal. So think about it. Decide if this is something it is that you want to do, and go for it. Give it a shot. Try it. Ask us questions. We're here to help you throughout this whole process, and we want to see you be successful. We're not just here because we're all for the ethical business practices. We're not here to get you enrolled in the course and say, bye, that's it, we're done. No. We're here for you for the life of your real estate career. There's courses that are going to be required to be taken by the Florida Real Estate Commission that we offer. And at the bare minimum, we want you coming back to take those courses from us. But we want you to be our biggest fans. We want you out there with megaphones shouting to the world how great real estate is, how much you love working in real estate, and how you should go to Tampa School of Real Estate to start your real estate career. That's our goal. That's our mission. To help make more people successful. That's why we do this show. That's why we're here every day with videos for you to help you grow your real estate business. We're about out of time today. We're out of time 5 minutes ago, so we went a little over today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you everyone for, I see a lot of the repeat viewers in here today. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you do have questions, put those in the comments. We check those out even after the show and respond to them. So if you have any questions on any of this stuff or anything like that, put that in there, or just give us a call. Our phone number's right below. It's 813-928-0106. How to get started in real estate, how to get your real estate license, that's licencefl.com. licencefl.com. Go to that website. We've got a step-by-step guide, a whole video, all kinds of information for you there that'll get you started on obtaining your real estate license. So again, that website is licencefl.com. You can also give us a call. Phone number again is 813-928-0106. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe. Share this with your friends and family. Maybe you're not thinking about a career in real estate, but maybe a friend is. We'd really appreciate it if you share this video with them. I'm sure they will appreciate you sharing this video with them because we are the people to go to when you're thinking about starting a career in real estate. We are here to help you. We do so much for our students. I challenge you to find a school that will do more for that. It's all the time we've got for today. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you Friday for State of Real Estate. If you've been thinking about real estate, look, in this current market, it's hard not to. There's so many opportunities that exist out there for residential real estate, commercial real estate, business brokerage, property management. I mean, it's ridiculous how much opportunity lies from having a real estate license. So look, if you've been thinking about getting a real estate license, I mean, it's minimal cost compared to starting other careers and starting other businesses to get into this. So I urge you to check it out and give it a try. I mean, even if you're just using your license for personal use, you've got huge, immense benefits there. Go to this link. It's licencefl.com. That's licencefl.com. Put that link in the description. It's got your step-by-step guide to get a Florida real estate license. And look, check it out. Give us a call. We're here to answer any questions it is that you have, and go out there and make some money.
Does your current career allow for unlimited income potential? With a career in real estate, the sky is the limit. What you put in is what you get out. Find out more about how you can tap into the unlimited income potential of a career in real estate at tampaschool.com. Did you know that statewide only about 50% of test takers pass their state exam on the first try? At the Tampa School of Real Estate, we've broken down passing the class and state exams into 4 simple steps: learning the information, reinforcing the information, testing your knowledge, and being confident and prepared. View the details of the full strategy at passfirsttry.com. That's passfirsttry.com.
Hey, if you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching.